The first being our partnership for Autism Speaks Wisconsin, and the second being an event that we're bringing here again, Wings for Autism, that will occur in May. Going back to the first, we have in support of the Light It Up Blue campaign, as well as in support of our community, the airport will be lighting up the exterior of our terminal building blue for the entire month of April. So we're very excited about that. We feel very strongly that the first piece in awareness to get that word out, lighting up our terminal blue, we hope that that piece of awareness will create a lasting impact that can support families living with the autism spectrum disorder here in our community. So to help us discuss awareness in our community, I'd like to welcome our local leaders, Outagamie County Executive Thomas Nelson.
Great to always be here at our airport. But this is I know that we do a lot of activities, a lot of outreach here for a lot of really good reasons. We're very proud of our airport. $676 million economic activity every single year. But this is a very special occasion because it's an issue that goes to the heart, goes to the families of a lot of our employees, people who are quite concerned about this issue and want to do their part to take some time out this morning, today, to try to generate awareness. And so, as Ava mentioned, for the month of April, we'll be lighting up the exterior lights here at the Appleton International Airport in the color blue in honor of Autism Awareness Month. So we've got a great group today to talk about not just what we're doing here to generate awareness for autism, but also talking about our program, Wings for Autism. We have one of the more successful Wings for Autism projects here at Appleton International Airport, something that we're quite proud of as well. But my role today is to issue a proclamation on behalf of the good people of Outagamie County honoring the occasion of this month. So I would like to quickly read the proclamation that we have here, and it is designating Autism Awareness Month in Outagamie County. Whereas autism, the fastest growing developmental disability in the United States, affecting more than 3 million people, is an urgent public health crisis that demands a national response. And whereas autism is the result of a neurological effect that affects the normal functioning of the human brain and can affect anyone regardless of race, ethnicity, gender, or socioeconomic background, and whereas symptoms and characteristics may present themselves in a variety of combinations and can result in significant lifelong impairment of an individual's ability to learn, develop healthy interactive behaviors, and whereas doctors, therapists, and educators can help persons with autism overcome or adjust to their challenges, and whereas ensuring that persons living with autism have access to the lifelong care and services needed to pursue the full measure of personal happiness and achieve their greatest potential, and whereas Outagamie County, Wisconsin, and the Appleton International Airport is honored to take part in the annual observance of Autism Awareness Month and World Autism Awareness Day, including the Light It Up Blue campaign, in the hope that it will lead to a better understanding. So, now therefore I, Thomas M. Nelson, Executive of Outagamie County, do hereby proclaim the month of April 2017 as Autism Awareness Month. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Thomas.
Next, I'd like to welcome Shannon Nall, Policy Chair from Autism Speaks Wisconsin.
Thomas is a little bit taller than I was, so I have to move that microphone down. But thank you, Thomas, and thank you, Abe. I have to tell you, we flew into the airport a couple of nights ago, and it was so cool to walk outside and see the blue lights lighting up the exterior. And last night, my son and I came home from an event and drove into our neighborhood, and there were blue lights all over our neighborhood. So it feels pretty great to live in the community, which is embracing our families right now. All over the world, landmarks are lighting up blue to shine a light on autism. In the U.S., 1 in 68 Americans are living with an autism spectrum disorder. When my son Jack was diagnosed almost 13 years ago, that's hard to believe, the rate of occurrence was 1 in 250. And despite this rapid increase, autism remains the most underfunded childhood disorder behind juvenile diabetes, pediatric cancer, and pediatric AIDS combined. Awareness is important. Awareness leads to acceptance, and acceptance leads to stronger, inclusive communities. Acceptance also leads to action. Actions to create and sustain inclusive public schools, which ensure an education for all. Actions to think outside the box, to create and sustain job opportunities, to employ an entire group of individuals who wish to be contributing members of their communities. And actions to work with autistic people and their families to create independent living opportunities where people can live with dignity and respect. So I challenge each of you here today, each member of our community, to learn more. Accept differences and act on behalf of our families. Light up blue, reach out to autistic people in your community, learn more, and teach your children. Today, we are also fortunate enough to have with us a young man named Jackson. Jackson is a freshman at Appleton North High School. He plays football. He's on the wrestling team. He runs track. And his mom tells me he plays a mean guitar. Jackson also has autism. And he is going to share with us today the importance of awareness to him. Thank you. Jackson.
Hello, my name is Jackson Schipper, and I am on the autism spectrum. I would like to thank Mrs. Null and the other event organizers for inviting me here today to talk to you about the importance of increasing autism awareness and its role in early intervention. I firmly believe that early intervention is critical. Having healthcare practitioners who knew what autism was and what the signs were led me to be correctly diagnosed in first grade with Asperger's syndrome. After my autism diagnosis, I underwent occupational therapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, and social coaching. I also took medication to help with my anxiety, and I received school support. Through the years of hard work with my various therapies and with the support of my family, teachers, and care practitioners, by 6th grade, I did not need medication anymore. By that point, I had graduated from occupational therapy, was able to transition into physical training, martial arts, and successfully participate in group sports. My speech therapy was discontinued after I became more adept at social speech and correctly interpreting social situations. My transition team at school recognized that I no longer needed an IEP. Since junior high, I have only needed a building plan that allows me extra time for testing. As a freshman at Appleton North, I am a tri-sport athlete and an honor roll student. I have a wide range of interests and a number of good friends. I believe that I would be at a very different standing if I hadn't received a diagnosis and treatments when I had. In my opinion, getting your child diagnosed early is the most important thing that you can do to help them. Autism awareness is crucial in spreading the word to parents, doctors, and educators about the diagnostic signs across the full spectrum of autism. Awareness also highlights the need for early intervention and gives families a path forward through treatment options. Thank you for your time and for lighting it up blue.
Thank you, Jackson, for sharing your story. Tremendous story, and we appreciate you being here today. The second part of this event will be the discussion on our upcoming Wings for Autism event. There's been a number of local organizations that have helped us pull this plan together. But first, I'd like to welcome David Bolter, the Executive Director of the Executive Director of the ARC Fond du Lac, to come in and talk to us a little bit about the upcoming Wings for Autism. David?
Good morning, everybody. This is a great event that actually started with the ARC Boston. The ARC of the United States is an organization with over 650 individual chapters throughout the United States. My name is David Bolter, and I actually represent the ARC Fond du Lac. But 2.5 years ago, this event started out in Boston at Logan Airport. And the response was so tremendous that the Arc of the United States said, we're going to roll this out across the nation. And I'm very proud to say that not only did the Arc Fond du Lac become the 22nd Arc chapter to roll this out, but we were one of the first ones in the Midwest. And when we looked for an airline partner, an airport partner, we were very fortunate to have at our disposal Appleton International Airport, Abe Weber, and his fantastic crew of professionals. We put this on last May, and it was just a resounding success. The ARC, besides advocating for and servicing autistic people, really has a very broad brace of services for all intellectual and developmentally disabled people. And the outstanding turnout we had in May, that was followed up in October of last year, and now we're having our second one. So the airport, the Arc of Fond du Lac, the Fox River Valley, and the entire state of Wisconsin can look proudly to this event, and we're committed to having this event and working with Appleton every year, at least one of these every year, if we can manage that. At this point in time, I would really like to turn this over to one of our clients at the Arc Fond du Lac, and that is Miss Jackie Hack. She is the parent of an autistic child. Jackie?
Thank you, David. Our family was fortunate enough last year to be able to participate in the Wings for All program here at the Appleton Airport, and we were able to be a success story. Our family had not flown in 10 years, and we were concerned about how our son would be able to handle all of the sensory
Go ahead.
sounds
No problem.
pressures and everything that comes with visiting an airport, a place that he's just really unfamiliar with. And we were thrilled when we heard about this opportunity to come and practice, because we wanted to be able to visit Florida, where our son had been born, and visit my sister who lives in Arizona, but we weren't sure that that was going to be a possibility because of all of the challenges that come along with autism. So given this opportunity, we were able to come here and practice standing in line over here at the ticketing windows and taking our turn and visiting with the ticketing agents, who were all just so supportive and welcoming of him and all of his little nuances and quirks and his wanting to touch everything at the ticketing window. And then standing in line at the TSA, and everyone was so patient with him as he wanted to ask questions or just touch all of the little buttons that are everything over by the TSA checkpoints. And then all of the pacing that he likes to do to calm himself over in the waiting area by the boarding. And we need to practice not going into all of the doors that say for airport employees only, or no access, because those are things that he really likes to explore. But this gave us an opportunity to come and practice all of these things so that we know in the future that airline travel for us as a family is a possibility, and we look forward to flying soon. So thank you for giving us that opportunity.
Thank you, both David and Jackie, for coming out. And I should also mention there were a number of other local organizations that help bring the Wings for Autism to life here in our local community, starting with Fox Valley Autism, Autism Society of Wisconsin, and Autism Society, the Fox Valley, SOAR, and Wisconsin. All of them, from the very onset idea to have a Wings for Autism, jumped right in and helped us out to get that program off the ground here. And I do want to thank a special person to me, my wife that's standing in the back. When I had heard about the Wings for Autism events that were occurring across the country, I talked to her after a conference of hearing that, and she pushed me and said, we got to have this, it has to occur here. And I just want to thank you, hon, for pushing me into that. So she's back there juggling a couple of kids. I don't want to embarrass her too much, but thank you, Amber. Just final details on the Wings for Autism event. It will be held here at the airport May 13th. We still have room on that flight, so if you know of anyone that would like to participate, they can capture that link at atwairport.com where they can sign up either as a volunteer or as a participant. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming out, and we'll be all around for questions or interviews just after this. Thank you.